there will be an end to this in a while. You don't have to go through this anymore. There will be a result. Okay, don't worry. If she didn't have someone from Free representing her, then I think what would happen is that she would basically be representing herself, or she would just drop the case. And I think that's the worst thing about these kind of situations, is that you can have a problem with your employers, and they have the resources to obviously get lawyers and get the right advice. But on the other side, you can be completely alone in this, and there will be no one who will help you unless you have organisations like these.
In order to secure a future for herself, Anna has come up with a plan.
I'm off to Middle Temple because I have a scholarship interview for an internship in Canada or America. It's 6 weeks to 6 months abroad, just so you can understand how other legal systems work and perhaps explain how ours work. And it'll just be interesting to see how other systems operate.
She hopes that winning a scholarship will lead to a pupillage.
Each time you get a pupillage rejection, it is a huge knockback, and it's obviously difficult to take when it's something that you want so badly. But I have an almost sick obsession with making sure that I keep up tempo about it, with making sure that I keep believing that I will get one, because I do believe that I'm good enough, and I think it would count against me if I started to let the rejections get me down and affect my performance in interviews and my application forms. So it's really all about keeping up the momentum. I think that if I got one of these internships, it would be good prep for pupillage. So I better get one.
Middle Temple, whose members include the most senior lawyers in the country, spends £1 million every year on student scholarships. Anna will have to wait a week to find out if she's the latest beneficiary. A mile away at the Old Bailey, things are going well for Annie and the CPS.
What's helping the prosecution case is that 2 of the defendants are running a cutthroat. One is suggesting that the other one murdered Stephen Jeeves, and the other one is clearly suggesting that the first one murdered Stephen Jeeves. And because of this very, very clear cutthroat between the 2 defendants, they're making my job easier, because they're bringing in all the relevant bad material about each other that in some cases I couldn't have used. So each of these defendants in their turn is shoring up my case by introducing this inadmissible stuff that I couldn't have done. So it's helping me. The cross-examination from these 2 defendants is covering ground that I would have covered if there hadn't been such a cutthroat. So to be fair, it's making my job much easier. In fact, one of the junior defence counsels said to me at the beginning of the defence case, well, you can just sit back now and watch us cut each other's throats. And there certainly has been an element of that.
She's got not just barristers there, but is it 4 of them?
3 or 4.
3 or 4 of them are actual QCs. So she's not just got barristers up against her, she's got some of the best barristers up against her. But she's holding her own, she's doing good.
She's, very good.
She's not the biggest of people anyway.
No.
I think she's
lovely though, isn't she? Yeah. But we see her just as a prosecution at first, and she was very soft and...
softly spoken.
Yeah, and then when we see her on the defence, she was totally different. She was very good.
We were all a bit shocked, actually.
This year alone, more than 2,000 cases will be taken in-house by the CPS in Birmingham. That leaves Dickie Bond with a lot more time on his hands.
This is the Birmingham Crown Court Open Day, where we bring all the kids along. Mine two've come along to see what their father does, because I don't think they actually know what I do.
He's a barrister, and then that's all I really know about him.
Well, yes, the magistrates sit here, and the magistrates try offences that aren't as serious as in the Crown Court.
Did you get these tote bags?
What would you do if you were a judge?
Send people to prison,
Why would you send people to prison?
because they're naughty, like me.
Right.
Prison now. Completely.
For how long?
Rest of your life. That will come up to a total.
That means you're not going to get any more pocket money for the rest of your life.
I've still got my mother.
Okay.
No pocket money. Download high school.
The days of me not being able to see my family are long gone. I actually see quite a lot of my children nowadays, which makes a nice, pleasant change on the one hand, but on the other hand, I'm obviously not earning as much as I used to.
Up this area here is what we use for the young offenders. Like I say, they're all kept apart. We've got male adults here, female down the bottom, and the young offenders are kept in this block here.
Yeah, you're probably going to be locked in there now. Do you want to have a try, see what it's like when you're locked in?
Yeah, stay on that.
Yeah, let's go. Just drop it and just walk away. See you,
Today, Kokoli will find out whether she's done enough to be made a tenant and have a future as an independent barrister.
I've been thinking about it all weekend, and I had bouts of feeling quite afraid, and I thought about what might happen if they don't want me, which is a possibility. It's been a very, very difficult few days, but I've really wanted this to come. I've been waiting for it for so long, so I just have to get on with it and accept my fate, I think.
This is going to be the room for the interview this evening. The tenancy committee has got 9 members. We'll interview them in alphabetical order, and they'll be asked similar questions about their experiences so far of the work they've done, the kind of practices that they want to see in the future, and it's going to be a difficult decision.
But as you say, in 20 minutes your life could be great or it could be disaster.
The jury at the Old Bailey has retired to consider its verdict. It's a tense time for Annie as she waits to see whether she's won the biggest case of her career. In the robbery trial, Dickie is also waiting for a verdict.
You just don't know what happens inside the jury room. Cases where I think there's bound to be a conviction, juries acquit, and cases where I think a defendant's bound to be acquitted get convicted. You just cannot tell.
We've all rather gone off the boil, actually, this morning, and I've just finished a crossword. I've read every single national newspaper. Some people are managing to work, and others are just pacing around, rather like me. I'm just pacing around.
I don't think people realise what family go through. It's the waiting. It's worse than actually listening to the lies.
To the trial. It's a lot worse than the trial.
Yeah.